Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones mod Let's Play. So I apologize for my absence again yesterday. I've had an interesting week. I've had 2 exams, 2 quizzes, a pretty busy overall week at school, and then yesterday, well no, the day before yesterday, I spent the day at my girlfriend's house and I got rained in. It was raining so bad that there was like flood warnings on all the roads and stuff. So I couldn't really drive anywhere, so I got stuck at her house, not at home, which made it difficult to record, so that's why there was no videos yesterday. So we'll try to catch back up soon, but I'm going to just keep going with the usual schedule, and if I can fit in those videos we missed elsewhere, I'll try to do that. Anywho, in the last episode, we made a pretty big move. We noticed in our efforts to take advantage of the new Lady Paramount of the North and assassinating her husband, which we successfully did, we realized that we really didn't have anybody to marry to her to take advantage of the situation, short of divorcing our own wife and then marrying her ourselves. And then there is the issue that she's already 40 years old and has a son. And so we would have to pull off a lot of stuff to make it work. We would have to have a son of our own with her before she turns 45, because after 45, no more kids. And then we would have to get rid of the current son. And it was just a lot to pull off. And I really didn't want to have to divorce our current wife because she's a really good character. She's been pretty loyal. She has a high opinion of us. And so it was something I didn't want to do. So then we looked at her son, Bannon Bolton, and it turned out that at 0 years old, he obviously wasn't betrothed to anybody yet, and so we had, of course, a very intelligent, very highly skilled daughter in Serena here, who's only 6 years old, shaping up to be a pretty solid character. We're obviously bringing her up ourselves, and so we were actually able to set up a matrilineal betrothal between the two, and as long as that holds, which, I mean, all bets are off at that point. But as long as that holds, we would eventually inherit the kingdom or high lordship of the North, depending on whether or not we're part of the Iron Throne. Either way, we would be in charge of the North. It's just whether or not we're below the king on the Iron Throne. So yeah, I mean, that was a huge move for us. Hopefully it holds. Again, we've seen the game pull some pretty questionable stuff on us before, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does it again here, but for now it's in. As soon as they accept the offer, we'll be pretty much locked in, and anything they do beyond that will obviously have diplomatic ramifications. But let's get started here, and while we're doing so, I would just like to remind you guys to hit that like button if you are enjoying the series so far and you would like to see more Crusader Kings 2. And don't forget to subscribe as well. It's the best way to help the channel grow and the best way to follow along with this series. So this is the other marriage we set up between our daughter Jane and her husband Emmon Flowers, who is going to come join our side. She's shaping up to be a pretty damn good character as well. We're going to see if we can't fit her into our court somewhere. Obviously, she's got plenty of skills that we can take advantage of, and then her husband is actually pretty decent as well. We're going to turn him into a commander. Is that a red panda? I think it is. Oh, that's the best banner ever. I mean, the name is Pandred. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to a red panda. That looks like a red panda. Red pandas are awesome. But anyways, we're going to make him a commander, and we might give them some land or something. Obviously, if we do that, though, we would lose her as a counselor, so a lot to think about here. Let's see. I have decided to accept your suggestion of a matrilineal betrothal between Serena and Bannon. So it's in. They've accepted it. Whether or not it holds is an entirely different story here, but for now, it's looking good. Also, I just noticed on anything the Starks send us, the wax seal actually has a direwolf in it. That's a really nice touch by the mod authors. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Actually, before I do any of that, he's in our court now, so let's get this set up here. Commander, Our wife is still only 42, so I'm not going to do anything with that yet. But, yeah. I guess we'll throw Emin in there, obviously. And then Walder Bolton is in my court. I may as well... Yeah, he's my son-in-law. I may as well get him in there. Let's see. So he's a light-footed leader and a defender. Emin is an inspiring leader. Okay. So they're actually pretty good. Quent here is an organizer, but his skill is low. And then Torgan the Axe is also pretty low. He's an aggressive leader. Is there anybody we can replace him with? Lord Duncan, he's related to us. Let's get him in there. Okay, so we've got plenty of commanders. I don't have any bodyguards at the moment. I guess I could make Emin a bodyguard as well. I don't know that... No, I guess you can't do both at once, can you? Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. What skill was it? Was it searching for before? It doesn't look like it's sorted by skill. Yeah, what's the sorting filter here? I would think this would have more to do with either martial skill or intrigue, but it doesn't seem to be sorted by either. It's definitely not sorted by diplomacy, stewardship, or learning. So it's none of these skills. It's not by age. It's not by loyalty. I think it's just random. I would probably go with martial skill. So we'll have Emin be a bodyguard as well. And designated regent. Let's actually put our wife as designated regent. And then master of horse. I'm not sure who we should give that one to. I might throw that at somebody who is very important but is kind of getting uppity with us and we need to improve our relation. That's a nice one to throw at them. Cupbearer is good too, but if you're worried about that particular person assassinating you, that's not a great one to give to them. Alright, so that's sorted. Is there anybody who could be... Wow, where did you come from, pal? Interesting. I wonder, should we make Aaron here our treasurer and then maybe move Master Winton to Castellan? Because you're pretty good all around. Like, you've got everything but martial skill. I think that's a good idea. Let's reappoint this position here. So we'll get him in as treasurer because he's really good at being a treasurer and not much else. Obviously, we'll have him collect taxes in the capital, and then as Castellan, we're going to put Winton in there. And we want him to oversee the province. And he's a pretty well-rounded character who's also really good with stewardship, so he should fit in nicely at that position. Right now, our Maester is by far our weakest link, but nothing that we can really do about that other than request another. But that costs us money, and frankly, these guys don't do a whole lot, so I don't really care. Right, so we were going to look at Winterfell. So, Bandon Bolton, betrothed to Serena Raventree. It's in. We just need to maintain that now. And so we got to be careful about not upsetting the Lord Paramount. But it would have to really, really upset her to make her do anything about it. Because she's going to lose a ton of prestige. And people will like her less if she goes back on that betrothal. So Lady Paramount Hera's prisoner, Lord Mark of the Crossing, has demanded a trial before the court to try and prove himself innocent. As the most senior member of the council, I've been commanded to oversee the trial and ensure justice is served. He begins to present his defense. Okay, it's another one of these. He actually makes a strong defense. Okay. The prisoner has made their case before the court. Now all shall observe as I commence the interrogation on behalf of Lady Paramount Hera. I make a competent accusation. So the trial is coming to an end. Lord Mark has pleaded his case before the court, and I have fiercely questioned him in turn. Now the court and Lady Paramount Hera have their eyes fixed upon me, waiting for my verdict. Do I lose just? I can't see... Yeah, I lose just and I lose prestige. So he is innocent. There doesn't seem to be any negative consequences to this other than whatever event she receives. If I say that he is guilty, I lose prestige, I lose my just trait. She still receives an event, and a lot of people don't like me for it. So obviously this is the correct choice. Whether we're role-playing or not, like, this is the way to go. So I'm not sure why you would choose that, to be honest, other than if you were role-playing like a really, really terrible person. But it seems like even... I don't see Lady Paramount Hara on there. So she might have a negative opinion of us for whatever reason, but it doesn't say that she will if we find him innocent. So I think it depends on what sort of traits she has. But let's find him innocent. And he's been released from her dungeon. Okay. And he's founded the Lord Mark for the Riverlands faction. I'm wondering if she likes me less now. I mean, it's still positive. Let's see, state diplomacy +8. She's attracted to gregariousness. We're both cynical. So there's nothing on there to suggest that she doesn't like me from that. She doesn't like Lord Callan because he's ruthless, but that's always been there. So there's nothing to do with that. So I guess there was no real negative to doing the right thing there. Huh. So we're in like kind of weird place now because we're poised to stage like this huge coup, but until we get to that point, honestly, there's not a ton for us to do. Although I am thinking about it now, and I'm wondering if I betrothed the wrong girl in this marriage here, because let's see, Branda is mastering the art of swordsmanship. So I'm wondering if I should have chosen Branda, because Serena is my daughter, but not my heir. Lady Sybil is my heir, and her heir is Branda, who is 10 years old. Also shaping up to be a pretty decent character, and I am sort of controlling her stats and stuff. But she could potentially end up being the player character, whereas Serena here is probably not going to be the player character. So how we can actually end up being Lord Paramount might be difficult. I think I actually did make a mistake there. We could, of course, revoke it, but she might not like us for that. And then there's the issue of, like, I don't know. There's a lot of issues that could happen between, you know, her becoming Lord and her becoming Lord, or however this plays out. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that. I do think it was a mistake, though. If I were to break the betrothal, she's gonna like me less. But we may be able to get, you know, what's her name, Branda, into that spot. And then that would, you know, allow us as the player to inherit the North rather than just the Raventrees at large, which doesn't necessarily benefit us, because if we're not playing as those particular characters, then you know, it just means that we can ally with the North, basically, which doesn't really help me. So I think I am going to do that. I'm a bit worried that canceling it could cause issues, but she will like me a little bit less. I can throw some money at her. In fact, I'll do that up front. Wow, 40... I mean, I gotta do it. 42 gold for 23 opinion. That'll get her up to 37. And then we'll lose 20 of that from breaking the betrothal. But that actually does put us higher than we are currently now. So I guess that's a decent play. But yeah, I do think that that's the right move, because like I said, with the current betrothal, we don't stand to gain as much from it as if our granddaughter was the one taking part in it. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. So the issue here is I don't know if I have control over any of her betrothals. No, I don't. So this is very problematic. Very, very problematic. Because she is part of his court because she is his daughter. So, crap. This does put us in a bit of a bind. I'm not sure what I could really do about it because I am educating her, but I can't force her to come to my court. And because she's a child, there's nothing I can do to actually force that along. I guess I could wait until she's 16 and then try to bribe her into coming to my court. That is one potential option, but she might like her father too much. But yeah, because she's not an adult, she can't come to our court. So that is going to be an issue, but we've got the betrothal locked in. Again, a Raventree. Assuming nothing happens, nothing bad happens, a Raventree will become Lord Paramount and or King of the North. So that's good. That's still a good thing. It's just that king may not be the player character, and obviously we would prefer that. We need to build something else in the Dreadfort. So let's look at our options. I think I was talking about doing patrol posts last time, because that is going to... Actually, we can already do Castletown 2. We just need more money. So maybe I should do that. Small estates are going to require guard stations too. That's the other income boosting one. This is obviously going to give us a more significant bonus though. And this is going to require guard stations too, which requires patrol posts to be leveled up a couple times. So I think we'll just save up for Castletown 2. That makes more sense to me anyway. We're not that far off. Only 73 more gold. But yeah, so the betrothal's locked in. We'll leave it alone when our granddaughter Branda turns 16 and becomes an adult. We will invite her to our court, where hopefully we will have some influence in who she marries, and then from there we can try to maybe rearrange the betrothal. But until then, I don't think we can really do a whole lot about it. Also, if you guys know of any way to maybe influence who our heir is, because I can't change, as far as I know, I can't change my inheritance laws. Let's see. So if I wanted to go to like elective, which is still problematic, like very problematic, but that would be the only one I could see us getting her into position for, because she's got so many people ahead of her currently. Unless I went... No, I guess if I went Ultimo, she would be my primary heir. Huh. So no vassal can have a negative opinion of me. And then either we must be the Kingdom of the Iron Throne, or we do not have the law anonymous vassals. Interesting. I don't know. Well, actually, I think there's supposed to be more to that. I wonder if it's getting cut off. But that doesn't seem like it would be possible for us to do. But that's the only one I could see her becoming our heir with. That one or elective, but then we have to hope that everybody votes the same way we vote, which isn't a guarantee, as we learned the hard way in Elder Kings. So the lords of the realm are beginning to grow uneasy at King Norman's zealous and erratic actions. The king has not only sabotaged his marriage prospects, but he has made sure he will never wed again by taking a septon's vows, aided and abetted by a high septon who is becoming increasingly influential. Well, he has a son and daughter, so his line is secure. He really doesn't need to marry again, because he already has an heir. Who's also not betrothed. That's an interesting... let's see if we can't make something happen here. Unfortunately, all my daughters are already married, so that becomes problematic. Mira, Arana... She's my granddaughter. I imagine they're going to say no, but I could try it. She's just a kinswoman. No. So, her skills and her prestige effects are not going to get us anywhere. His skills are terrible, though. He's 12 and he's worse than a lot of people. Obviously, we can't arrange a marriage. Huh. Well, that sucks. If I had known that, like, I guess I should check these things more often, but if I had known that situation was open, like, I would have tried to maybe matrilineal marry in one of my own daughters, and then we would be, like, taking over the entire, you know, Kingdom of the Iron Throne for the Raventrees, but I'm not sure who would qualify, frankly. Oh well. That's something to think on for a little bit. We are pretty much out of time already, and it doesn't seem like we've gotten a whole lot done. But definitely a lot is happening. It's just like, it's all happening in the background, sort of. I don't know why I stopped that. Yeah, it's all happening in the background, so it's not like big things like wars and stuff. It's little like marriages here and there and lines of inheritance that when the domino finally tips, it's going to start this whole huge chain reaction that is really, really going to change things in the game. So, Lord Ezelino has dragged his unfaithful spouse, Lady Shira, before me and insists I should punish her. So they are the Lord and Lady of Arendelle up here. You know what? My stance on these in the past has always been that it's a waste of my time. And since she's actually the Lord here, and he's just her husband, I don't really care about crossing him. He already doesn't like me. I'm more concerned about crossing her, and she already does like me. So I'm going to side with her and basically do what I've always done and just say that you guys settle your own problems. I'm not a marriage counselor. I am a lord. So, yeah, it's a waste of my time. And honestly, 10 prestige means nothing to me. So, husband and wife musician arrive from Lys. Their performances range from vulgar satires to political cervantes. I don't know if that's like a... like if there's supposed to be an accent mark on that. But, the way the ES makes me think that it's something like that. Cervantes, maybe? I have no idea. Everything in between, including songs and poems of courtly love. So that would be the cynical option. That's the gregarious option, and somebody will like me for that. And I could gain the charitable trait for some gold. And that would help me with diplomacy. Yeah. That was an easy choice. I mean, 8 gold to raise my diplomacy skill by 3. I'll take it. But we are definitely out of time for the day, so we're going to break it off here. A lot of stuff happening with this betrothal, so let me know what you guys think on the matter, because as it stands now, we don't really have any sort of way to benefit directly from this betrothal. Obviously, you know, getting Raventree blood into the into Winterfell basically is a good thing, but it's not going to benefit me directly unless it's one of my heirs, and right now it's not. So if you guys think that my plan here will work, where we wait until Branda turns 16 and then invite her to our court and see if we can't arrange the betrothal with her instead, then I'll do that. But if you don't think that's a good idea, if you think it might be easier to maneuver my daughter Serena into our line of inheritance, then maybe we'll do that. But let me know what you guys think either way. If you have a better idea than either of those, then please feel free to share. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Had a great time playing some Crusader Kings 2 with you, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.